Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today. We wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Madhav, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Purnitai Srila Prabhupada, and Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees, so that we continue with the Sanatana Dharma course. And today we will look at the different abodes in the spiritual world and also in this world. So we're going to start with an overview. Now, this is quite a complicated subject, as one can imagine, talking about the Lord's abodes. So we're going to look at the spiritual and the material worlds. And if we look, well, this is a Golok chart done once, made up by some devotees. It's not to scale, of course, because although this represents the material world is actually very tiny. And the material world is situated here, actually, the northeast corner of the spiritual world. This is where material world is situated. But, to put it in a diagram, yeah, but that's where it is actually. Yeah. So in order to get it for fitting in one page or one diagram, we had to do it this way, or it's done this way anyway. So, and the material world is considered to be a very small part of the whole creation, less than 1/4. And this is only one universe. There are actually millions and billions of universes, just like bigger than our one. So we'll talk about that in more detail later. Then we have Mahesh Dham, and one of the reasons we're doing abodes today is, perhaps if we get to it, is to look at Mahesh Dham. Where is it actually situated? Now, this is Vaikuntha Dham, where Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan are situated. Then there's the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, and that is the light emanating from God, because it's very bright. We have Ayodhya and Golok. Now, Golok is considered to be the highest planet in the spiritual world, the highest. It's Krishna's own abode. So we're going to look at that first. This is a little idea of life in Golok, what it looks like. Very beautiful. And it's said that the Golok planet is actually bigger than everything else put together. Everything else put together. And we'll see there's a lot in Vaikuntha. But Golok is bigger than everything. And the number of souls there are more than anywhere else. Okay. So Golok is like a lotus flower. And the middle of the lotus, the roll, is Radha and Krishna. And we can see here is also the Gayatri mantra, the Kamdev mantra. Kam Dev Gayatri mantra. And the petals are those devotees who are very close to Radha and Krishna. So these 8 petals belong to the 8 main gopis. And then behind the gopis are the assistants to the gopis, the manjaris, very special devotees who serve Radha and Krishna very intimately. And then, so that they represent Madhurya Ras, i.e. loving relationship with Krishna. And then beyond that, there'll be the parental relationship. So as the lotuses expand, then there will be the parental Vatsalya Ras. Then we have Sakya Ras, like that, different petals going further out. Now, often you will find yantras. This is called a yantra. And the yantra actually, there are many, many different types of yantras. This one specifically is a yantra describing Golok in the spiritual world. And this yantra represents the spiritual world as non-different from the spiritual world. So these yantras are very powerful. And usually they are made in some copper or brass plate. So you can even put those yantras on the altar and worship. It's non-different. Now, as an example.
Sorry, yantra was in the center, yeah?
Yantra is the center, yes. That's correct. If you see here, this is the yantra. That's right. It represents the center. That's correct. Can you see it here?
Yeah, I saw that, but I couldn't read the...
This is the Gayatri, not the Gayatri mantra we used to. This is another Gayatri mantra. It's Radha Krishna's Gayatri mantra.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear about that anyway. Thank you. So many things we don't know.
Oh, this is even this is just scratching the surface. We really, I mean, I'll show you one quote in one of the books by Jiva Goswami, and he says,
Brahma Sarita. Sanatana Dharma.
Here, scripture references. So these are all the different scriptures where these.
Okay, yeah.
But if you look at this one, Gopal Champu by Jiva Goswami, he says, what am I doing? I have rashly began a description of Golok. I do not see how I will have the power to complete my description. Even though Jiva Goswami is very special.
So he in a Prahlad, before he written this all things, he realized all things.
Yeah, and that's right. He is actually, do you remember which manjari he is? Can't remember.
Jiva
Manjari?
Jiva.
Yeah. He's one of these, which one? I think can't remember which one now, but he's one of these devotees, very, very close.
Okay.
To Radha and Krishna, very close. And even he says,
how do we know that person is very, very close and is supposed to be here? How
do we know that?
Yeah.
This has been given in another scripture. Who these people are? Okay. That's correct. That's a good question.
So like a Smruti and Shruti, something you have to only accept because of we just read, this way. Okay, thanks.
That's correct. We have to have the faith.
Shraddha.
Yeah. Hanji. That's correct.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. Very good. So an example of worship of Radha Krishna is in Mayapur. These are the deities in Mayapur. We have Radha Madhav, and then we have the Astasakhis, the 8 main gopis. So if we look at who they are, this is Radha Krishna. And then we have Lalita, Vishakha. They're very, very close to the divine couple. And then we have Indulekas, Rangadevi, Sudevi, and on the other side, Champaklata, Chitra, and Tungavidya. So these are the main petals. The first petals are occupied by the 8 Astasakhi gopis. I won't go into this because it's a little too detailed. So Radha Krishna perform their pastimes. The gopis assist them. But the gopis have manjaris who are younger than the gopis. Their age would be like 8, 9, younger. And they would assist Radha and Krishna very intimately when Radha and Krishna are performing pastimes. the gopis, the manjaris, the gopis won't be present, but the manjaris will be, because they're so young. Radha Krishna don't feel so shy in front of them. So for example, in this pic, this is a fantastic picture, painting, because here you can identify, you can see here, look, there's some gopi faces, manjaris.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
witnessing the pastimes. So they're here. You can just about make it out now.
That means Manjari was, they were also like a gopis. They were more devotees in that age, small age, you mean?
Yes, but remember, they're eternally that age. It's not that after
Actually,
they become 9, 10, they always remain that age.
Remain, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. That's the eternal position.
Oh, yeah.
So and the manjaris are right behind the gopis, but they serve Krishna, Radha and Krishna, in a very intimate way. Here we go. So this is Rupa Manjari, is Rupa Goswami. So these are all the different Goswamis. Let's find Jiva Goswami if we can. There you go. Jiva Goswami is Vilas Manjari. So he wrote that Gopal Champu, very, very close situated to Radha Krishna. And on the outskirts of Golok are the protectors. So here we have Vasudeva. These are the quadruple Vasudeva, Sankarsan, Padumna, and Aniruddha. The first quadruple expansion. And we also have the Rigved, Dharma is also present. So they are like the protectors. So that's a very brief description. It's a lot more to say, because on the outskirts of Golok are 3 dhams, Mathura, Jagannath Puri, and Dwarka. And they are on the outskirts, not in the center of Golok. But there's a lot to describe, but time is a little short. So this is a very brief overview of Golok. So now let's have a look at Ayodhya. Ayodhya is there. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna expand from the first Chaturvyu, and all are Vishnu Tattva, but they all serve Ram. So we got Krishna, from Krishna comes Balaram, from Balaram comes the first Chaturvyu, first 4 incarnations. And Vasudev is Ram, Shankarshan is Lakshman, Padumna is Bharat, Aniruddha is Shatrugna. So all of them are God. All of them. It's not just Ram is supreme. They all are supreme. But one God, many different forms. So they're all Vishnu Tattva. All very powerful. And Ayodhya is located between Golok and Vaikuntha. Why is it below Golok? Because in Golok, the relationship between Krishna and his devotees is very, very close. Krishna comes under the control of his devotees. Mother Yashoda can tell Krishna, you're going to eat now. But in Ayodhya, Ramachandra cannot be told because he's king. So the mood in Ayodhya is a bit more formal, whereas the mood in Golok is very informal, depending on the devotees, of course. So that's why Ayodhya is considered lower than Golok, because the mood in Ayodhya is a little bit formal. They cannot associate with Ramachandra as the devotees can with Krishna in Golok. They cannot be as friendly or have these very close relationships. So there you go. This is where Ayodhya is, and this is what it looks like. The mood in Ayodhya is more of Aishwarya than Dwarka. Dwarka is also, okay, Krishna is a prince, so he's given some respect. But in Ayodhya, the respect is much, much more for the Lord. So the mood is more of austerity than Dwaka, where, although opulent, the Lord was considered part of the family. And the rasa is, and the ras in Ayodhya is dasya ras, das, i.e. servant, like Hanuman. So in Dwaka, there's a little bit of friendship as well. But in Ayodhya, simply servant. Devotees of Ram will go to this planet as servants. His mood and relationship is different from Krishna and also from Vishnu, with Dasiras is even more prominent. Devotees know the position of Krishna and cherish Ram, just like Hanuman cherished Ram. So now we're going to go into Vaikuntha, which is below Ayodhya. Why is it below? Because in Vaikuntha, it is the servant-master relationship is prominent. So we can see here, Lakshmi Narayan, they're worshipped in great opulence. And the devotees, they may have the same bodily form as the Lord. You can see here, they've got 4 hands. They look the same as the Lord, but they're not. They are servants of the Lord. And their mood of worship is Aishwarya, very formal. Like Vaikuntha, Narayan is the master and everybody else is a servant. So from Krishna Balaram comes the Chaturvyu, and then from Sankarasan, who was also Lakshman, expands Narayan, who lives in Vaikuntha, as do all of the next quadruple expansion. So this is again a lotus, same sort of lotus, but different moods. Let's have a look at the lotuses a little bit more closely. The lotus. There are unlimited planets in Vaikuntha with unlimited expansions of the Lord. Each planet has unlimited cities and opulent palaces. The main Vaikuntha planet with Narayan, Lord Narayan, is glorious. It is guarded by the 4 gates with gatekeepers on the western side. Western gate is guarded by Jay and Vijay. So Jay and Vijay are very famous because they were cursed by 4 Kumaras to come to earth. And Krishna gave them a choice. You can become devotees for 7 lives or demons for 3 lives. And they chose demons because it's only 3 lives. So they came as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Then they came as Ravan and Kumkaran. And then Jay and Vijay, they came as Shishupal and Dantavakkara. So, and we'll see that in a little while. Vaikuntha has 7 layers. Right? If you see, there'll be 7 of these layers. And we won't go through all of them, but we'll just have a quick look at some of them. In the roll, in the middle, is the Lord, his Lord's personal palace. He's served by thousands and millions of devotees. And there, the 4-handed form of Narayan and Mahalakshmi are there. His throne is made of the Vedas, covered with white ivory colored sheets. In the center, there are 8 petals, and the Gayatri mantra is also there. But this is the Gayatri mantra that is very commonly known, Om Bhur Bhuva Swa, like that. The 8 gopis in Golok, they expand into 8 queens in Vaikuntha. And there's loads of associates. So there you go. Let's have a look at this. This is Lakshmi Narayan. This is the Gayatri mantra. And we see the petals, the 8 queens who are expansions of the gopis. And also various associates of the Lord surround him and serve him, like Garud. And the 7 layers, first one is the Chaturvyu with the consorts of the Lord. So this is the second Chaturvyu here with his consorts. So that's here, Padumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Sankarsan. And their respective consort wives. So that's the first layer. Second layer is the 24 Vishnu expansions, and they are given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many, many, many names, 24 different names. And they are here, all of these. They have their own planets, they have their own devotees who are very much attached to them. Why so many forms of the Lord? Why not? Why not? As many devotees there are, as many desires that the devotees have, Krishna, God fulfills those desires. So if you want to serve Lord as Nrsimha, he will allow you. This is the kindness of the Lord. So the third layer is the 10 avatars. Machkachvara Nasimam Pushpam Ram Krishna Balaram Bodha Kalki 10 avatar ki jai. That's here. That's the 10 avatars. And then we have the 8 eternal associates of the Lord. And they include Ganesh and Padmanidhi. And these are not the same ones in the material world. This Ganesh is the actual spiritual, actual Vishnu form, from whom expands the Ganesh in our world. That's number 4. They're the 8 eternal associates. And then we have the 4 Vedas and Savitri, Gayatri, Garu, Dharma. So that's the 5th layer. And the 6th layer are the personal forms of the weapons of God. Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, plow, sword, bow, mace. There you go. You can just about make him out if you're on a computer. And then the 7th last layer are the eternal protectors of the Lord. And they're named Indra. Again, not the same. Indra, it's the Indra. This Indra is Vishnu. The Indra in our world is not Vishnu, but this Indra in the spiritual world gives power to the Indra in our world. So quite complex. And one of them, now this is really interesting. Remember, the northeast corner is where the material world is situated, here on this side. So who's there? Who's in that particular post here? We'll have a look. Isan. Who's Isan? Who's Isan? Lord Shiva. That's the Vishnu Tattva, purely Vishnu Tattva form. So this is not where he is in touch with the material world. This is the Vishnu form of Shiva. Now we'll talk about that when we look at Shivlok in a minute. A bit more detail. So far we've covered Golok, Ayodhya, and Vaikuntha. And now we're looking at the Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence of the Lord, the effulgence. And those who want to merge with God because they're thinking they are God, they will go into this place. And that's not a good place to go. Not a good place to go. Because in the Brahma Jyoti, there's no activity. It's just light. There's no relationship with God. And that's why it's very difficult to live in that world. Very, very difficult. I won't go into any detail there. But we don't want to go to the Brahma Jyoti because that is regarded to be merging with God. And we don't want to merge with God. We want to serve God. So there's 3 aspects of God. There's the sunshine, the Brahma Jyoti. Then there's the Paramatma form. And then there's the Supreme Lord himself. We won't go into this because this will take some time to explain.
Sorry, one thing you said, we not prefer to go to this place because it's merged with Bhagwan, yeah, Ishwar, right?
Ji.
So Meera, or we talk about who? Meera and who? Some other 2, 3. I don't remember name now, but they were. We just, I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but they merged. They merged with Krishna, isn't it?
Not
Because
Meera.
આપણે એમ કહીએ ને કે ઈ ભગવાનમાં સમાઈ ગયા હતા એમને ભગવાને એને પોતાનામાં લઈ લીધા હતા. So what does it mean that merge with Bhagwan, right?
That
So,
can mean merge, but actually someone like Meera, because she was worshipping Bhagwan no Roop,
yeah,
she wouldn't merge with God. She knows she had a relationship with God. She had a relationship with Krishna. So that relationship continues in the spiritual world. Those who merge in here are those who have no relationship with Krishna. They just want to become God. They want to merge with God. So they don't think God as
they want to become like a God. Is this what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh. So my misunderstood. I understood that merge. They merge in Ishwar.
Yeah, no, some can merge like that, but Meera is not in that category because she was worshipping the roop of the form. So anybody who's worshipping the Supreme Lord, they will never merge with the Lord. They will go to the Lord and serve him in the spiritual world. So
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I think what Mataji is saying that it's,
yes.
I think it's in our folklore that at the end, the Mirabai herself, she immersed or merged into the Murti of Krishna.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that's what I think. That's what she meant. Not the Brahmjyoti, but in the Murti.
Right. No, but ultimately, that would just give, that is just the to facilitate her to go to the spiritual world.
Yes.
Continue that relationship with Krishna. It's not that she becomes Krishna. By merging, she doesn't become Krishna. That's just giving her the route to go to the the spiritual planets. I know what you're saying now. I understand what you're saying. That at the end of her life, she ended it by merging with the Murti of Krishna.
That's what we learn in young age.
That's okay. That's okay. But it doesn't mean she becomes Krishna or becomes God. Because Mirabai had a very personal relationship. She regarded him as her husband. So in the spiritual world, she will continue to serve him as husband. So that bhajan when it ends, that, oh, she's merging, that is only an indication of how she has gone back to the spiritual world. But it's not that she has merged with God. By merging with God, we think we become God, but actually we are only entering the Brahma Jyoti, which is hellish, because in that Brahma Jyoti, there's nothing to do. There's no relationship, but the Atma always looking for, we get our happiness from relationship with others. But in the Brahma Jyoti, there's no relationship. It's boring. And at some point, the soul will again come down to this material world from that Brahma Jyoti, most likely.
But still there is some Atma.
Yes. There will be those who have basically stopped identifying themselves as Atma. Yes, they will continue to live in the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like the little sparks in a fire. That's what they are. The big fire is the Brahma Jyoti, and then they're like little sparks just moving around there.
Good example.
Like Atma in our body. Human body, you got an Atma. We said Atma is very, very tiny. You can't imagine how small it's Atma.
Yeah.
So same thing is here, isn't it?
You could say that our soul, we are very tiny, but the body is huge. Yeah. From that point of view. But the body is still material. Huh? But we are spiritual. Yeah. But we are spiritual. Does that make sense?
It's bit, little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a very good point. It's a very good thing to discuss because we want to be very clear where we want to go. We don't want to go in, we don't want to merge with God. We want to become devotees of God.
So that's why some bhajans and some poem, they said, we don't want to go to merge with Bhagwan, but we want to be a human being and we just pray you, we do the seva for you. Some people
Yeah.
worship like that, isn't it?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Because of there's so many reasons and so many different atma, which is different.
That's it. Spot on. Spot on. Yeah.
It's interesting and hard.
So let's talk a little bit more about this Brahmajyoti.
Yeah.
It's the lowest stage of spiritual consciousness because there is consciousness, but no spiritual body or activity, just a frozen pulp.
Yeah.
The soul may stay there for a very, very long time, billions of lifetimes of Brahma. And his lifetime is, we know from yesterday, huge.
11 trillion.
But a jiva soul who is existing dormantly there will eventually fall from there and again take a material body because there's nothing to do. Because the soul feels lonely and comes back to do charity work in this world. And even the asuras, those Krishna kills, they can attain Brahmajyoti. So why would the devotees want to go to the Brahmajyoti? The Trishuls, there are Trishuls which protect Vaikuntha. They prevent entry into Vaikuntha unless the soul meets devotees and then can attain Shantaras in Vaikuntha if they appreciate the Lord's personality. So Gaudiya Vaishnavas prefer hell rather than merging with the Lord. Because the Mayavadi has no interest in the personal form of the Lord. Even the Lord has interest for them, but even God has given up hope. So, and why do they prefer hell? Because at least in hell, there's some chance of purification because God will send somebody to save that soul. So the Vaishnavas, they prefer to go to hell rather than Brahmajyoti. In the Brahmajyoti, there's no more chance. Very difficult. Very difficult. So that's the end of Brahmajyoti. Now, where are we time-wise? Quarter past already. Okay. Now, this next bit will take some time because we're going to talk about Shivlok. We'll wait. I think we'll do it tomorrow. Madhuben, you can join tomorrow?
Tomorrow, what's day? Yeah.
Friday.
No, I'm not sure because of if I'm not home, so I couldn't make it. We're going out 1 o'clock, but when we come back, I don't know. So I'm not sure tomorrow. Sorry. Probably not. No.
Probably not.
Because we come back later, I think.
So, because it will take time to talk through this. Okay. Viraj River. There's a river that comes between the spiritual world, and this is it, Viraj River.
Viraj River.
It's the border of the spiritual material world, and that crosses right across Shivlok.
Okay.
And Shivlok, half of it is in the spiritual world, and half of it is in this material world. And this is very, very interesting. When
Can you doing tomorrow? This thing?
Or we can do Saturday if you are free.
Yeah, Saturday, because of tomorrow we're not home. I know
Okay.
that 1 o'clock my son's birthday, so we book somewhere.
Okay.
Whole family, so
No
I
problem.
don't know.
No problem. So we'll take a break from Abodes and we'll do it on Saturday.
Okay,
And tomorrow we'll do something else. No problem.
Okay. If possible, 7 o'clock I'll join. If tomorrow.
Oh no, it's following Friday, yeah? Following, not this Friday.
Okay, not
following
not
Friday.
this Friday. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, any other questions, any comments? Nani Ben, is that okay?
Oh my God.
Hmm. Any other comments by anybody? Anybody like to say anything?
Can you revise what top of you said 3 lok we did, right?
Ah, okay, let's have a look at what we did here.
Mm.
So let's have a look at this. So
Gokul,
today
Go-
we looked at Gokul, yeah.
Golok, first
Golok,
Golok, yeah.
Ayodhya,
Ayodhya and Brahma.
Vaikunta,
And Vaikuntham. Vaikuntham,
ah,
yeah.
and the Brahmajyoti we looked at, yeah.
And then Brahmajyoti, yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
And then now it's only these two, but these two take time. These two are very important. So,
Okay, okay.
all right, thank you.
Thanks anyway. It's
Okay.
nice, but it's hard.
It's hard. It's very hard. But it's
Yeah.
okay.
And because of our age and our mind, it's something, it takes time to digest or
Yeah,
accept these things,
yeah, it will take time.
There is so many question comes when you.
That's good. That's good. That shows your thinking. Very good. Very good.
So it's become more hard.
No, thank you so much. Very good.
Anyway, we enjoyed it anyway. Thank you.
Golok Dham ki jai, Vaikuntha
Yeah.
Dham, Ayodhya Dham ki jai. Okay, let's stop. Where are you?